We're finally on the last episode of the Seasonal Depression series, and this one's going to be about community and networking. I have the definition of community here, so I'm going to read it out to you. A feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. Okay, so you might be wondering, Noah, what do you mean by community and networking? Humans are naturally social creatures. That's just how we have been made and bred, and it's a survival instinct, honestly. Like, caveman me. I can't kill giant saber-toothed tiger by myself. If I get Jeff a couple rocks away, might be able to kill Sabretooth. Therefore, I don't die, you know? That's the mentality, so that's why humans are naturally social creatures. With that being said, prior human existence was all about survival. Like, oh no, a common cold. Oh no, am I gonna die of dysentery? Oh no, I don't even know what penicillin is. My caveman brain don't know, so I'm gonna die of basically anything. And since this was the scenario, a lot of prior human existence was very day to day, you know? I wasn't gonna think a week ahead because I didn't know if I was gonna live a week, you know? I didn't grasp the concept of months in advance because I could die tomorrow, or today in fact, you know? And the simple matter of that is terrifying if you will, okay? However, in present day human existence, amazing, we have technology.
So is it any wonder people are afraid of technology? Technology!
We have medical advancements, if you will.
Am I pregnant? Am I pregnant? Am I pargant? Am I gregnant?
And we have the space to thrive, to be honest. To thrive as a species and think ahead in time. You know, I can think months in advance. I can think years in advance. I don't think centuries or millennia, but some people do, and you have the space to do that. It's great. So with all this being said, which is great, medical advancements, technology, amazing. This is how I can talk to you. It's great. With all this being said, we live in a world of 7.2 billion people and counting, right? However, this has been the highest spike level, if you will, of social isolation and lack of relation in human history, I feel. You know, that's also really hard to say. Social isolation. Try saying that 3 times in a row. It's not easy. And what I mean by that is the feeling of being alone. Even when you're surrounded by people, whether it be a party, whether it be school, whether it be work, whatever the situation may be where you're surrounded by other humans, but you feel alone. That's what I mean when I say a spike in social isolation or lack of relation. And I think the main culprit of this lack of relation spike is 3 things. Our brains, convenience, and technology. And for the past 2 episodes, we've been talking about social media and technology. Like, no, we get it, technology. We're gonna go at it again. And as you know, our brains are hardwired to take the path of least resistance and whatever uses up the least amount of energy and whatever gives us pleasure, you know? But as we've talked about in the last 2 episodes, that doesn't really feed our mental or emotional or physical health typically. It's usually not the greatest for us. And so linking back to humans being social creatures, our brain knows this. It does. It's like, okay, we need to interact with fellow human beings. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a mess. But you know who else knows it? Technology, right? Technology knows that our brain needs this and that we need it as a human species, and it knows that our brain loves convenience. And so what does it do? Bam, makes convenience. There's the 3. Brain, convenience, technology, all linked together. So with those 3 things, it gives our brains almost a false sense of interaction, you know? Like, oh, I liked their post on Instagram, so I'm interacting. Oh, I commented on it even. I'm interacting. Oh, I sent them a Snapchat, or I texted them. I'm getting my social interaction time. Which, a little bit, I guess, you know? Like, it gives you a little bit of social interaction because you are technically talking or interacting with another person, but it is nowhere near the same as in person. And so that's what I think has led to this spike of social isolation and lack of relation, is this convenience with our brain and technology and interaction and just how it all plays out. So branching off that, I have like a little story time, a little bit more about me, and it's gonna all connect, I swear. So whenever I get seasonal depression, I usually go into hypersomnia, which means you just sleep a lot, which is a symptom of seasonal depression and regular depression for that matter. Point being, I would just shut down my social battery and just sleep all the time and be like, oh, I'm just gonna tough it out, you know? I'm just gonna sleep till it's over, you know? Hibernate like the bears. It doesn't work that way. I would get into this prior human existence mindset of, I'm just thinking day to day for survival, you know? I'm not thinking ahead. I can't see the future. I can't think a month ahead because I'm just way too depressed, you know? Like, I can barely think what I'm gonna do today, let alone tomorrow, let alone a week, let alone a month, you know? So I'd get this caveman mindset, I'm gonna call it, not in a belligerent way, just the way I'm gonna say it. So I was focused on surviving the day, to be honest. Like, okay, let's get through this day, and then let's get through another, and let's get through another, you know? I didn't think ahead. I was just focusing on getting through one day at a time, which isn't necessarily bad, but when that's all I'm focusing on, of just saying, okay, this day is gonna end at some point, and then tomorrow, the next day will end at some point, you know? Continuing with that mindset, it really just sucked the joy out of me. And it created this negative feedback loop in my mind of I lacked the energy and motivation to do the things that I love. And in return, me not doing the things that I love made me feel less motivated and less energetic, thus not having any motivation or energy to do the things that I love. And it just keeps going, you know? Not a good time. And for a while, I lived with my dad. And credit to my dad, I love him, and he has made me the man that I am. So, shout out to you, Dad. Love you. Point being, I lived with him for a while, and he knows how I get during seasonal depression times, you know? He knows that I get sad really easily, and how I just don't want to do anything. He knows this. And so when it was fall and winter, he would do like little things. I didn't really notice them at the time, you know? I didn't notice them at all. I was sort of like, ugh. But looking back, I'm like, whoa. I see what you did there. You did that on purpose. And so almost on a daily basis, my dad would ask me, oh, what's up? What's your plans for the day? And he'd try to get me to go socialize. And to be honest, I didn't want to socialize. I just wanted a nap. And I didn't want to see people. And I don't want people to see me. You know, that's just how I felt. But he has this saying, which he says a lot, and I've adopted myself. And he says, the squeakiest wheel gets fixed first. Rewind that. Listen to it again. Okay? Welcome back. Point being, the squeakiest wheel gets fixed first. If you pester someone enough about something that needs to be fixed, it'll be fixed. Eventually. So my dad in this scenario was the squeaky wheel, and I had to put forth effort and energy and motivation to fix it. And so he'd come up to me and say, you should go play piano. Like, I want to hear what you've come up with. And so he'd like watch me play piano or listen to me in the next room. Or he'd be like, oh, hey, Noah, like, what's so-and-so up to? You should text them and see if they want to come over and play like Crokinole or play Xbox or something. And whenever he would suggest these things, I'd always be like, ugh, like it was a chore or something, you know? But I'd do it because he's the squeakiest wheel, so I just don't want to hear him talking about it anymore. So I'd do it. And almost every time, I'd feel great afterwards. Because he was telling me to do things that I love doing myself, but I didn't have the motivation to. So my dad knew my passions and like what brought joy out in me, and he knew that I didn't want to do any of them. But he knew if he pestered me enough, I would finally do it. And if I did it, I would feel better. And he wasn't being annoying. He was just pestering me to do good things that would bring out good things in me and make me feel better. So this is exactly what I mean by community and networking. Having those people that know your joys and know your passions and are able to be a squeaky wheel to you and pester you to do things that you know you love but you just have no motivation to do. Having those people in your life is so crucial. I cannot overstate it enough. I cannot say how many times I've been pulled out of a rut or like a bad mood by a friend that really knew what was going on and really knew how I worked. And whenever I'm in one of these ruts or moods or depressional states, I don't want to socialize whatsoever. But I do it anyways because I know it'll be helpful for me in the long term. And also, it gets me out of the negative feedback loop. At least helps me out of it, right? So yeah, that's episode 3 wrapped up. I guess the mantras would be be there for others, and good things don't come easy. So reach out to that person that you know is struggling and just give them an ear to listen. I can't say how helpful it is to have a person say, hey, I see you're struggling, what's going on? And just having the space to just let it out, best therapy. Best therapy for me personally. If you're a person that's in a rut or depressional state or just struggling in general, don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and explore. Put yourself in scenarios that you would put your friends in if they were in your shoes. That's what I like to think typically. But yeah, that's my message for today. I hope it's helped you. And I hope this seasonal depression series has helped you through this season of life or wherever you may be whenever you're watching this. I hope it helps you wherever you need it. And if you'd like, you could hit the subscribe button, you could hit the like button, and maybe the bell icon if you feel like it. But yeah, you don't have to. Either way, tune in for the next series, and I'll see you guys later.